Hello, everybody. Running late again as usual. Let me find all my stuff. Hi, everybody. Okay, well, I got a bunch of stuff done, and that's what I wanted. Because if any of you were here on Thursday evening, hello, everybody. If any of you were here on Thursday evening, then you heard the story about me and my very favorite new friend, my kidney stone. Not, oh my gosh, what an adventure. And I was so pleased to be out of pain that I thought for the most part I was all better. But I actually didn't feel my real self until last night, right before bed. So luckily I've been working on Donnie's little quilt. And so I was able to kind of sit, rest, and take it easy. And but finally I thought, how am I going to do Sunday's show? I've got so much. I'm so far behind from being ill. So this camera's up too high. I'll move out of the way and show you Donnie's quilt. There it is. And it is all done except for just a couple of little threads to clip and all of that. So there is Donnie's quilt. Tomorrow I have a doctor's appointment to have an ultrasound done on my kidneys, see how things are going. So I'm going to have it all packed up and ready to go to my little Donnie. So that was a lot of work, ladies. And working on a deadline is really not fun for me. So that is a whole bunch of pinwheels. And I went ahead and quilted it on white cotton. I wanted this one to have that old-fashioned quilt look. And so it came out. But boy, has this been a all hands on deck. And the house is filthy. And Mark has made all the meals and has just let me work to get this done. So thank you, Mark. Thank you, Mark. So, hello. Hi, Miss Nikki is here. I love seeing our Nikki. Hi, Michelle. Donnie is not born yet. That poor girl, she was due August 10th. And she's not that big. She's maybe 5'2" at the most. And we are laying odds that this baby is going to be a 10-pound baby. And she's just a tiny thing. Happy birthday, Nikki! Woo! Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Oh, I'm not even in tune. Our Nikki, happy birthday to you. So, boy, sorry, Nikki. That was painful, wasn't it? So happy birthday, sweetheart. So, oh my gosh. So anyway, he's not born yet. If he's not born sometime this week, they're going to go ahead and induce her. And so, hello, Angela, Adele. Let's see all who's here. So I saw Bonnie was the first one in. I typed be right there because I was frantically doing makeup and stuff. I got so engrossed in these journals that by the time I looked up, it was 10 minutes to 3. And I hadn't curled my hair. I hadn't done anything. So I was like running around like mad. But I'm so glad to be feeling good and here with you today. So thank you. So let's see. Bonnie was the first one. Look at Michelle Lang in there so early. And Nikki, our birthday girl, and Miss Susan Smith, who just had her first anniversary at her job that they love her, and I know she loves it. And so she's had a couple milestones, getting some training for a licensing thing, and then now her first anniversary. We're so happy. Yes, and I have pictures where she's actually quilting too. With all that's going on, she's managed to do quilting too. So Jody is here. Hi, my Jody. Yeah, it's been rainy here lately too. I think I'm going to start growing mildew. I don't know. I'm going to be a petri dish if this keeps up. And I'm not going to complain much because we had like 6-8 weeks of drought, and now it is just raining. But I'm anxious to get out and refertilize all my plants and trim some things that are way overgrown. But I've got to wait until this humidity drops. It's crazy around here. So let's see who else. Sherry Mercurio, who is not far away near Fayetteville, North Carolina. So that is only maybe 2 hours away. How exciting. I wish this coronavirus pandemic wasn't going on, because I would just get in my little car and go drive and see her. So maybe we can meet somewhere. I don't know, but I'm so tickled to know she's so close by. Hello, Miss Cheryl in her beautiful new apartment. And she's got windows and can see outside, and it's just wonderful. It was nice for her daughter to be there for her when she needed her, and now we're glad that Miss Cheryl is getting some time in her own place. There's nothing like having your own home. I understand that. So let me see. It's so funny, when my oldest went away to college, not having gone through it and thought about it, I thought, I can't wait until she graduates and she's back home. She didn't move back home. She bought her own place. So she got her job and bought herself a townhouse, and it was wonderful to watch her. So, yeah, so it's everybody wants their own place. I understand that. So let's see. Kathy Klein is here again. Hi, sweetie. It is so good to see all of you people. So, thank you about the quilt comments. So, let's see. And Adele is here. Adele. Angela, do you want me to call you Angela or Adele? I guess Adele, since that's in your name. But either way, and it is so good to see you. And Crafty Pat, I got so tickled last night looking at pictures where your daughter and your husband moved all your stuff into your new room. Yeah. Didn't leave you a lot of room to rearrange things, but that was so sweet of them. That was so sweet. So, is Diana right here? I am very honored that she has the pool to end all pools outside her door. I am so honored she is spending some time with us. So I have lots of pictures to show you all today. So let me tell you, Wednesday was a lot of fun. And I kind of got an idea of eating some raisins because I haven't had much to eat today or anything. But so 2 weeks ago, I had this strange sensation, and then I woke up in the wee hours just to run to the bathroom and felt nauseous, pain in my lower back. I thought, what in the world is this? Went back to bed. Got my water with me. I am making sure to drink and drink and drink. I don't want another kidney stone for the rest of my life, let me tell you. But I went back to bed and woke up and thought I had dreamt it. So when I went to see my doctor, I didn't even mention it to her because I thought I just was dreaming. Well, the other night I was working on Donnie's quilt. It was on my frame. About 1:30 in the morning, I said, well, I'm tired. Let me get ready to go to sleep. And I felt that sensation again. I thought, But all I felt was just a little funny feeling down low. So I went on to bed. I woke up at 7 a.m. and ran to the bathroom. I was sick as a dog. Now, I don't know. Oh, you've had this. Okay. Oh, gosh. No, you can't be a hypochondriac and pass um, kidney stones. Good Lord. I mean, it was worse than my 16 hours of labor that I ended up with a C-section anyway. So trust me, let me tell you. So I was nauseous, so nauseous, and then had this terrible lower back pain right over my back, the back side, of my hip area. I banged on the wall for Mark and I said, "Can you come empty this trash can? I think I'm going to throw up." Well, that started a 7-hour process where I couldn't keep anything down, not a thing. And I was just like pulled into myself with the pain and the nausea and just feeling so ill. Oh, and sweat pouring off of me, just pouring into my eyes, just everywhere. I've never had anything like this. And it was like, am I having a heart attack? Well, no, but what's this lower pain? This is odd. And so Mark came and he was like, "Oh my gosh," and I was so determined. He didn't have to take care of me when my head was in the trash can. I was determined not to expose him to any of that part. And but I went and laid in bed. I asked him for a little ginger ale. I couldn't even drink it. He came back and said, "I just checked on the internet. You've got to drink water. It sounds like a kidney stone." All this. Well, the thought of drinking water made me so nauseous. And so this went on. This went on from 7 a.m. to 2:15 p.m. He tried giving me some Advil, threw it back up. So finally, about 1:30, he starts looking around for some kind of pain medicine, because I was just in agony. I mean, I have a high pain tolerance. This was agony. I mean, I've had 3 C-sections, gallbladder surgery. I've had so much, but this was agony. So he said, "I found this Vicodin from your last surgery. Do you think you can get when I'm down?" I said, "I'll try it." I would have tried anything. Cyanide, you give it to me. It was awful. So he gave me that, and somehow it stayed down, and I'd been drinking as best I could. And he said he'd come in, and I was just moaning. I was like out of it, just moaning. So anyway, I think sometime before 2, I drifted into a little nap, so that pain pill must have helped some. About 2:15, I was awakened with the feeling of a little tiny hot marble doing a little pinball move, a little zigzag through my lower abdomen. That was the oddest feeling. I got up to go to the bathroom to see what in the world, and realized the symptoms are starting to instantly fade. I was like, "Oh my God, I don't have any pain. Oh my God, I don't feel like I'm going to throw up." So I carefully went back to bed, drank a little bit of water because I knew I was supposed to, and kind of laid there for a bit. I thought I was too afraid to jinx it by saying, "Oh, yay." But I kind of was figuring out what had happened. And so eventually I'm laying there, 5 minutes pass, and I thought, I've got to share this with Mark. He is scared to death. I mean, I was thinking I'm going to have to go to the hospital or the doctor or something, but I was in too much agony to move. So I called him, and with him, he works out of the dining room because he's working from home. I had to call him loudly, which made it sound more urgent. And he comes running back going, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" I said, "I'm fine. It's good. I just wanted to let you know. I think I passed it. It's all good." He was like, "Oh, thank God." And so I said, I'm kind of afraid to say it out loud because I'm afraid it'll come back. But, so I told him what happened, and it's like, okay. And so I called my daughter Becky. It's so funny. I always want a Mark sighting. And I called her because I just said, I just want to tell you what happened to me this morning. I just needed somebody to tell this to. Mark's been real good, but I need somebody else. And she was like, oh, Mom, I'm so sorry. And, my daughters and I have all had our gallbladders removed. So we remember gallbladder stones and the agony you could get. And I said, this one's worse. So anyway, I ended up going out and sitting on the couch and kind of sitting there waiting to see, is it going to come back? Am I done? So, but anyway, I stayed kind of weak and shaky feeling until about last night. Then I felt so good. Boy, I lost several pounds over this ordeal. So last night about 2:00, I said, I'm hungry. I got up and got some peanut butter bread. I said, you must be feeling better if you're eating peanut butter bread, because I've been like, oh, I don't know if I can eat anything, and maybe a little chicken broth. So, I tell you what, the problem is during this COVID pandemic, I really didn't want to run to the ER unless I got much worse. And we had taken my temperature. I didn't have a fever. So it was kind of like, what are you going to do? So, but then I wrote the whole list of events down for my doctor. I love that now your health care can be online. And so I just wrote her an email and said, I told her exactly the timeline, what happened 2 weeks ago, what happened Wednesday night, and Tuesday night, and then into Wednesday. And I gave her every little detail so that way she would have a clearer understanding, because I had just gone to see her the week before. And so I thought, she'll know what to tell me to do. And so she wrote me back and said, it does sound like a kidney stone. I want you to have an ultrasound done of your kidneys just to make sure there was no damage and that you don't have a UTI or a kidney infection. Because evidently that can happen when you get that right kidney blocked, And in fact, some of the pictures I saw, the drawings of what can happen are like, oh my God, that's scary. But I told my son, I tell you what, growing old is not for sissies. Let me tell you. And I feel so bad. It's like giving birth, but you don't get a prize at the end. You just get to, it's done. And then do everything you can not to get another kidney stone. But so, Susan, I didn't realize that was not the surgery as much as to having parathyroidism, because it keeps a high amount of calcium in your bloodstream. And so I'm going to find out. Hopefully it maybe didn't have anything to do with it, because I did have my last surgery 2 years ago. But we'll see. I tell you what, I fast 12 hours every day, and I'm wondering if I think I haven't been drinking enough water during the time that I fast. So I need to do better. I'll make sure I drink several times while I'm talking to y'all, because I get so excited. Usually when I'm done talking to y'all, I'm so thirsty. So I'll make sure to drink plenty. Got my big Bubba Gump water, boy. And Mark went and got me low calorie, Simply lemonade, because it's the real juice. That's supposed to help too. So it evidently helps keep you from the potassium citrate or the sodium citrate is supposed to help dissolve any stones or keep them from forming. So, and then all four of yours, Sherry. Wow. I had 2 surgeries, had one removed at a time. And crossing my fingers, she even did a parathyroid test on August 5th, and my numbers are very good. So it's like, I was hoping. But I guess, Sherry, you have to be on medication, because you have to replace that hormone that the parathyroids normally make. So anyway, wow. So, yeah. And you know what? Honestly, traveling to do that hearing, I was under a lot of stress and I was so nauseous. I drank a lot of sodas. Fountain sodas tended to make my tummy feel calmer, but high fructose corn syrup is very bad and it's a big part of making kidney stones. So high fructose corn syrup, it's out. I'm going to be so careful. And sadly, unless you get the Mexican Pepsi, all of the sodas are almost all high fructose corn syrup. So, but I'm just staying on water with some lemonade, yeah, I think you're right. Sodas are, and I think that was it. And I was dehydrated and traveling so much, and it was 96 degrees there, and just the stress. So I'm thinking that since Sherry and I have already resolved our parathyroid problem, that it's not that. So, because now if you don't have the parathyroids capturing all that calcium, I think you don't have the same risk. So, hello, Diane 57. Well, I'm sorry I talked so much about that. I've got a lot to show you today. So here is one of the new necklaces that I made. This took a long time because they're small beads and I had to put them on elasticized string, and see the elasticized string? So I had to keep nipping a point onto the elasticized string to try to get them, see which ones would fit. And about 95% of the beads actually fit. So that was nice because I like elasticized necklaces. I'm funny about pulling things over my head. And this is a bead I had made about 2 months ago. And I think it went perfectly. Now, I had a different necklace that I made on, but then I realized, I didn't like that together. This one is more light coral, and my shirt is more of a pinky pink. So it didn't. So I took it off and put the green one. Anyway, I bought a few things this week I'll be showing you. I've got 3 brand new journals that I've made. I can't wait to show you those because last week I did the tackiest journal ever known to man. And that was fun. But I said, okay, let me now kind of do some little more thoughtful journals. Because not everybody's interested in super tacky, but this was a lot of fun. And I tell you what, being that hot glue gun, woo, we have a good time. So anyway, but this is what I made last week. And I've got 3 over here that I can't wait to show you. So I got down here early this morning because I didn't have any of this stuff prepared for today. And I had worked on that quilt until, I guess, midnight, 12:30 last night. So I had to get down here and get busy. And I got to tell you, when I quilted and then I needed a break. And in the summertime, in August, trying to put the binding on that thing and having that quilt in your lap, it's not fun. So it's like binding is best for winter, you cover up and get all cozy, but August, nah. So anyway, but I've been working every day, every night, except when I had to, I took off a good bit of time. All Wednesday, I wasn't up to it. And even part of Thursday. It really knocked me out. So, but it's ready. And I'm just going to make sure I just have washed it and dried it. So I'm going to make sure there's no edges open or anything that needs touched up. And then I'm going to pack it up safely with a label inside, just in case something happens to the package, with a label inside, and send that to my sweet Donnie. So I told my son, since I can't be up there for his birth, I put all my love into that quilt for that boy. So, anyway. All right. So, anything else? Oh, sometimes, yes, I do, Susan. Because, I told you about decorating my back deck with all the different plants. And I go to the dollar store in the spring and buy all their tacky, wonderful, colorful outdoor decorations. And I said, well, Mark, what do you think? And he said, looks like a whorehouse. And I said, good, it's almost perfect then. So anyway, and I forgot to bring down the paperwork for that quilt. I'll write down below what the pattern is so that you can get one too. So anyway, I think this was a free pattern I found somewhere. And the pinwheels, it's a lot of pinwheels. There are 16 12-inch blocks. Each block has 3 pinwheels. And then there are 2 to 3 pinwheels on every sashing row and in the outside border. It's a lot of pinwheels. So, and there's a few things I want to tell you. Remember how I graded the seams down really narrow? Be careful with that. A couple of them opened up for me. So maybe I went a little overboard in grading so many of the seams, because then you get it on the frame and you've got it stretched, tight enough. And then you start seeing where a couple of them wanted to open up. So since this is a baby blanket, it's not a show quilt. And yes, I love it, but they're probably going to toss it down on the floor and let him have tummy time on it, which is just what I want. I want them to use this quilt and get enjoyment out of it. So what I did is, when I was on the long arm, is just kind of went back over the seam where it wanted to open up. And so if you go looking for it, you'll see it, but that's okay. I mean, this is a utilitarian love quilt. Okay. So then the other thing was the white fabric I used had a pretty sheen to it, but it was a little thin, and I wasn't as careful with making sure that the seam allowances went to the dark. Okay, and all those pinwheels, it's white and red. In a couple of the seams, I thought I had it, but at some point they flipped, I ironed, I didn't pay attention. When I quilted it, some of the red in the seam allowances show through. Now, as a beginner judge, I've marked down on quilts that have shadowing coming through on the white background. So that, I would have to mark myself down for that. But be careful, either use a thicker white or make good and sure you've got every seam allowance folded to the dark. So let me see if I can bring it over here. I might be able to find a couple seams to show you. And then remind me what I do with stray threads that show through the background. Okay? So. All right. Okay, here we go. Let me see if I can find you a shadow seam. I had the best time quilting this. Let me see if I can show you. I did ribbon candy. Can you see the ribbon candy? I did ribbon candy on the rectangles. Then for the pinwheels, I did the little loops looped up into the triangle. For just the squares, I did a running circular design. I did outline quilting and a few loops on this one. I did outline quilting on this with the pass top and bottom. I like showing you this because a lot of times people want to know, well, how did you do that? Then I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but I made up my own border by doing a heart this way, a heart this way, and a bigger heart in the middle with two little loopy things. So like they came up and went around in a circle. So I did that on all the borders. But now let me try to find, oh, I see an area. I don't know if you can see it from there. Let me try to bring it a little closer. Boy, they do show up. Okay. It is right here. I don't know if you can see that little bit of pink, but that is this red seam allowance got folded up that way. And I wish I could show you a closer one, but you don't want that because it detracts from your finished product. And if you ever enter a quilt in a show with that, they're going to catch it. Here's one I can get closer to you. See this right there? See that shadowing? That is the seam allowance, okay? And, oh, there's something else, and I just was going to talk to you about this. Okay, so let me get a safety pin. So just make sure you have your seam allowances going to the dark. If you think at all, it's going to show through. Now this one has a little, see that red thread that's showing through this white? But I don't worry about me showing you my mistakes. It doesn't hurt my feelings at all. What I'm trying to do is like, what can you watch out for? What can you learn from? All right, so there's this little white thread, loose thread, that is just squiggled in there. So what I do is I take a safety pin, not a seam ripper. I take a safety pin, I come under that white fabric, right near the thread, and kind of pull, kind of drag the pin, drag this pin through the white fabric. I'm trying to hook that red thread. Okay? Ooh, almost got it. Let me get my glasses on. Because this part you can fix. Okay. All right, here we go. Oh, I do. I don't know if you can see it, but I've pulled. Oh, I think I've got it. I think I've got that red thread. Aha, now see it? See how I pulled it through the fabric? So there you go. It's just a loose red thread. And here's another one right beside that one. And so I just take the needle, go close to the red thread as I can, and kind of pull. I don't want to rip the threads of the white fabric, but I try to kind of scrape along the inside against that red thread. I try to scrape, and get it to come out of the opening of the white background. There it is. See it? It's kind of like getting a, what do you call them? Like getting a splinter out of your finger. So now I showed you something. And the reason I say never use, ever use a seam ripper is because a seam ripper will tear. It's got that blade in it. And a seam ripper will tear the background. But now you've seen, you're just coaxing it out because there's, and you know, sometimes I've had black stray threads, whatever. So just use a little safety pin and just kind of tease it to come to the surface of that background fabric, and then grab that puppy and pull it. So now you've seen something. Quilt splinters. There we go. Great job. So anyway, but otherwise, I'm very happy with it. I absolutely love the quilting on it. I love that I used cotton. And now that I've washed it, it's kind of drawn in. So it has that comfortable, homey well-loved quilt look. So there you go. Oh, a spider quilted in. That's tricky. You know, one day, a couple times, I used these plastic tab staples when I put my quilt on the frame. I have had an occasion where the skinny end of that plastic staple is inside the fabric, and I used the same safety pin and carefully tried to just work it out, and by stretching open an area of the fabric, not tearing the threads, and usually I can get them out. But a spider, that's a good one. I don't know about that one. Yeah, any pins, you got to get a pin out, even if you have to make a tiny little opening in a seam that you hand sew back together. But never leave anything that's going to hurt anybody in a quilt, because it will happen to you. I promise it will happen. All right, so now I've shown you all of that. I bought a few new items this week I like to show you, but I'm still being very, very careful. And I just realized I had a couple gift certificates from Pineapple Fabrics that I had gotten. One from my birthday, dear Bonnie, and then another one from a sweet lady on here. And so I've been watching, boy, every day when it happens, I'm getting it. I haven't just had. This is the most recent fabric I've had since we've been in COVID, and this I only bought because it's going to my little grandbaby. So what I did is I had to go get something. Well, I forgot now what I had to get off of Amazon. So I said, well, if I can make it, other things I may need. You remember how that every time lately down here that I want to do some, here they are. Every time down here I want to show you to do some little quilting, I can't find my machinigers. So I bought another pack of them. They're like $8 now, and I know I'll find the other ones. They're probably upstairs in my messy frame room, but I know I'll find them. So that way I'm going to keep one pair down here, one pair up there. But I got a new pair of machinigers, and boy, do they make such a difference. Any kind of gripper, gloves, I got these because they're inexpensive. And I like how tightly they fit my hands, so that's easy. Then I was telling you about face mask and how I didn't like the white elastic. And it's a shame because I've got like 100-foot roll of it. But then I saw this on Amazon. And this looks like velvet, but it's elastic. And it is so soft and gentle feeling that you could put it on your ear and it's not going to pull your ear forward like the white elastic does. So I got 30 yards of this. I'm going to take all of the masks I've made and put new soft elastic. And I think I paid around $11.99 to get, or $12.99 to get 30 yards. So then, I was making those boho beads. And I still haven't mailed out Susan's, but you know what? I need to find it and get it ready. I could mail it out tomorrow but I've been making these boho beads and I like it because you can take bits and pieces of buttons you've had laying around, or like this charm. I don't know how I got this charm, but I didn't really want to make a necklace out of it, but it's great for this. And I like using the scraps of fancy fabrics, lamaze, Angelina fibers, bits and pieces of ribbons, just little things I've collected for years. So I like making these. So I said, well, I need some more wire because I didn't have enough wire. So when I was on Amazon, I had a wire, but it's like fence wire, so you don't want it, it's a little too thick. So I saw this spool of jewelry wire, Darice, and it was $3 and something. Then I saw this little set. It was $6 and something. And so, um, since I love art quilts, making jewelry, making these little boho beads, I said, okay, I think I'll splurge a little. And this one even came with its own little pair of nippers. Wasn't that nice? So $6, and it's got silver, bronze, gold, copper, and black wire. And that'll last me the rest of my life because I'll use it to make the boho beads and stuff, but, you know, I don't do a lot of jewelry making with, I don't do a lot of jewelry. This is so sweet. Somebody sent a little thank you card with my order. That was very nice. Then I saw something that looked really exciting because I don't have tools for, when I was making the boho beads, I was borrowing Mark's stuff. I kind of wanted my own. So I found this toolkit on Amazon for $19, and I looked on eBay. Now this is, and they only sold this stuff separately for $7.99 each. This is that elasticized clear. This is a gold fine and a silver fine. So they give you these little things in this. Then here is a nice awl, and I can use this for sewing as well as jewelry making. They give you a little nips. Then they give you, hold on, little calipers so you can measure how big something is. Then I like this because I don't want to go buy packages of findings, which are the things you make the jewelry with. This has a little bit of everything. And the little bit of jewelry making I'm going to do, this is perfect because it gives me a lot of little samples and for a lot less money. Then it came with the tape measure, a little bag of beads. It came with these, which I guess you put them on your finger and it helps you. I don't know what these do. I need to learn what those do. I started trying to tell you what I thought, but I was like, I really don't know. Then you get 2 pairs of tweezers, and then 3 little pliers. These are like you make a bead this certain diameter. You can make a narrow ring circle out of the metal or a wider one. And this is that little thing of nips. And then I'm not sure what this is. Oh, I know what. I did see this. I did pull it apart. It's like a little rug hook. See how it has this thing on it? So I'm not sure what that's about. I need to find out. Then needle threaders. And honestly, I have no idea what this is. So I don't know if it's a sticky mat or a baggie maybe to hold things. I don't know. But this was much cheaper to buy as a group than to try, because I went looking for just a couple little things. Well, I could easily, on a couple pliers, spend what I spent for this. And this gives me just enough sampling to do the few things I want to do. They fit over your finger. Oh, okay. Very good. So anyway, but I tried to keep my order very reasonable. That's the big thing. So let me see. I showed you the new necklace I made. So I've made about 6 necklaces, and I'm really tickled to have them. And I was going to have Kiwi down here today, but I was just too busy down here. So I will have Kiwi next week. And she has just been loving attention. I've been so busy with the baby quilt, and I didn't want her messing with the baby quilt. So she has been missing her mama. So Anyway, let me see. Okay, I think I've talked to you about everything, but I'm going in. I'll let you know what they find on the ultrasound. The only time well, I guess I did have an ultrasound with my gallbladder stones. But I was going to say the last time I had my baby was so long ago. They had just started doing ultrasounds during pregnancy. And I had to go in to have my ultrasound like at 9:30 in the morning without using the restroom before I went, because it wasn't the powerful machines and the accuracy they have now. That was the most uncomfortable thing, is having to get up and not use the restroom when you're pregnant, when you're 5 months pregnant, go in and have this test. So I asked them, I said, do I have to do anything special to have this ultrasound? They said, oh, no, just come on in. I was, whew, okay. So, all right, here we go. I am going to show you my journals. So, this one I'm still going to decorate. This is the most recent one that I was putting together when I should have been here saying hi to y'all. But I chose this fabric that looks like a green marble, and it has some gold filigree on it. It looks a little dark right now. Oh, okay. All right. And so anyway, but what I did with this too, to kind of give it a little more interest, before I put it on this book, let me bring my lamp over to see if you can see it. Before I put it on this book, I scrunched it up in my fist, nice and tight. So I wanted to give it a little more texture. I don't know. Let me see. I don't know if you can quite see the text there. I think you can see a little bit. But I scrunched it up in my fist, then glued it on without smoothing it. So it would have a little bit of texture. I wish. Oh, there we go. There, see that? Because I am learning doing art quilts. You know, any little unusual thing you can do will add a lot to it. Okay, then here is the other one I did today. Remember when I printed out some fabric that I saw paper. I saw online that someone had some cool papers, and I copied it and printed it and put it in an editing program. And then what I did, so I got the paper, just folded it under, glued everything really good, then took 2 swaths of Mod Podge, and in those swaths I added glitter, just a fine gold glitter. So see, I only did 2 swaths of glitter. I'm learning to be a little more careful. Then I was going to put tiles on this, but I saw my button box. Then I saw this bag of kind of natural looking buttons, and it just seemed to fit the paper. So I hot glued the buttons on. Then I found these wooden buttons I had bought. Since I had a button theme going, I thought, okay, here are wooden buttons that I had bought on eBay, and it went with the theme. Then right here, I put on a self-stick Velcro, so that way the journal is closed, and put that little sewing machine there. So I thought this was a nice sewing journal. You know, you can use it for any journaling, and this already had the beautiful paper inside. So I was real careful not to cover that paper, you know. Anyway, so I like this one. Easy to do. A lot of fun. And what you're doing is turning a free thing, because this was given to us, given to me, I'm trying to remember when, and you turn it into what is a very nice gift. So now you've seen those two. Always got to show you my bling one, the bling overload. Now, I want you to look at this. Mark said, the cover looks like leather. I said, it does, doesn't it? Do any of y'all remember what I said I was going to do to make this cover? Anybody remember? Uh-oh, I just lost a bead. I better glue that back on. Anybody remember what I said I was going to do to make the cover look like leather? And you might be surprised to learn. Okay, I'm putting these beads back on before I lose them. Okay. Hold on. That's a good way to find out where the hot glue wasn't quite hot enough. Okay, paper bags. Yes, yes, Adele, and it is paper bag pieces that I tore. Paper bag pieces that I tore and Mod Podged them. This is just a 14-cent notebook that I got from Walmart. That's all this is a 14-cent notebook that I got a couple years ago. And remember the day that I was teaching how to draw an eye? I didn't want to throw the eye away. So I trimmed it out and put it on that. And I Mod Podged all this, just the scraps and tears of paper bag down. Then I Mod Podged this on. And then see over here, I had that roll. You remember me showing you that roll of cork? So I took and cut the cork and put it and Mod Podged it on there. Then I took a string of beads and hot glued those down the edge. Then this paper bag was one of those handled paper bags. And you know how the raffia, you have the raffia? Well, what I did is I hot glued the raffia on and used the other as a place mark. So even use the handle of the paper bag. So here it is, all Mod Podged down. Then I took, you remember the Dynaflow metallic paints? That's what I used to give it some definition. So, and I kind of thought the eyeball's kind of neat, kind of like if this was going to be a thought journal or a feelings journal, kind of an eye insight into your soul. So these, I'll set these up for you to see. And this is, so now I have some possible gifts. I have things that are just going to make me happy. All right. So maybe I'll put this right here. And I haven't finished with this green marbly one, but here they are. So here are, yeah. And I put another one of those little leaves right here on this one just to give it extra little. And I haven't decided exactly what I'm going to do with this. But I love the idea of like a green marble with some, and once it dries, it'll be even prettier. You can see where the Mod Podge is still wet because it's darker. So anyway, do you have any favorites of them? But that way you can take especially if you have grandchildren. You can take an inexpensive notebook. The dollar store has those marble notebooks that have a nice stiff edge. The only problem with this is the edge is not as stiff as I would like, but that's why I put the paper bag on this one to help stiffen up that cardboard. But I don't know, I kind of like it. So, you like the sewing one? All right. The button one. And I like it. How many of us have button jars or button canisters? But, how easy was that to do? And that's just a printed piece of paper and, some self-stick Velcro and these buttons that I just keep collecting. And this way it'll still lie flat. So, all right. Now, I was thinking about working on this green one, but I might chat for a while and see how I feel. I might be kind of tired today, but let me get this. But anyway, I had a lot of fun. I'm glad I took the extra time on this one, on this project with the journals, and there's even more that I'd like to do. I've still got some of those other fabrics that I want to try. So I think it's a lot of fun. And I have a feeling this is going to go on this journal. So, you're so sweet. Thank you, Miss Susan. More water. I'm so tired of drinking water, but it's better than the alternative. I had my first, I'm looking out the window at one of my plants. The sun is out for the first time in so long. And I had my first tomato and ripen. And so I had my first tomato and bologna sandwich. It was yummy. And I kept telling myself to eat slower. I ate that thing down so fast. It has been a long time since I had a fresh, homegrown tomato and bologna sandwich. So, do a landscape on the green one. Now, that's a cool idea. And I could do it. I've been wanting to put texture, and wouldn't that, now you got me thinking. And I thought texture doesn't have to be difficult. It could be a hot glue put on there that then is somehow painted or covered with something. So, what a good idea. So, because I've got all my supplies out, and so I'm like, what else can I make? So anyway, that's so much fun, and luckily I have a few more of those 14-cent notebooks. I might just do a few more. So, Michelle, thank you, sweetheart. You're such a sweetie. So what are y'all doing today? Oh, Yoko Sato. I think I've heard of that. I've heard of her, yes, because I think she does a lot with, in fact, one of the things I'm still going to do is do some hand embroidery on a journal cover. So I've got a lot. Oh, what are you having for dinner, Diana? I like that. Y'all eat an early dinner on a Sunday. That would be nice. Oh, what this is, got this in the mail this week. So very excited to see Miss Kamala. So I'm ready. So I thought, well, I'll just stick this right here. And can't wait for November. That's right. Oh, okay. Thanks, Susan. Gosh, you're so good with all this knowledge. I bet you would, Diane 57. Laura's here. Hi, sweetie. What your problem is, Laura, is that during this pandemic, every day is Tuesday. Mark loves saying that, and it's true. It's like Tuesday is just one of those days. It's not even Wednesday hump day. It's not, thank God, it's Friday. It's not Sunday, oh, I've got to go back to work tomorrow day. It's vanilla Tuesday, which means, you know, I don't know. But, oh, that's so nice, Nikki. Well, happy birthday, you sweet. Oh, chicken salad sandwiches and homemade Hawaiian rolls with seedless watermelon. That sounds nice. Now, have you been swimming today yet? Or are you going a little bit later? How's that gonna do? I love her pool. The only thing is I would want her to get a shade sail to put over a corner of it. Because, the Texas sun's awful bright for a Deb, let me tell you. Ooh, you're working on a Gudrun Erla's Harmony quilt along. Ooh, how many of you are working on some kind of quilt along? I would love to know. In fact, Bonnie's working on a cross stitch. You won't believe this, Bonnie, but upstairs remember when I made the roll up to put the block storage for hand applique? It's sitting on my table in my sunroom. And when I walk past, I'm like, I want to go back and work on, oh gosh, now I forgot the name of the quilt that we're making. What is that? LaFleur. I want to work on my LaFleur blocks. Just sit down, relax, maybe even lay in the hammock and make them. So that would be nice. Oh, good. You left your shade trees. That sounds like heaven. Oh, Jody's in a half square triangle swap. Fun. What are you having for dinner, Nikki? 7-layer salad. Mark loves that. Fish and onion rings. That sounds good. What a great birthday dinner. I bet you picked it out, didn't you? Mark loves 7-layer. I think it's a Texas thing for sure. Oh, be careful of that storm later. I was kind of hoping, is her name Kathy Mitchell, who had that Dureco, that kind of they call it inland hurricane. Oh man, I saw that on the news. It flattened corn. Aww. Oh, that's wonderful. Nikki, I love that you got to pick your birthday meal. Woohoo! That is so cute, Nikki. That is so cute. Yeah, that Durecchio, it did so much damage. Dropping raisins. So August 16th is Nikki's birthday. We'll have to remember that. I tell you what, Nikki, you're real lucky your mama gave birth to you in the hot summertime. Because, boy, August is the worst month. Woo. But I would say Nikki is well worth it. Okay. Sorry for eating in front of you. I just got really hungry. It's so funny. For whatever reason, lately, when Mark's been doing the grocery shopping, I said, could you give me those little boxes of raisins? So I love having a second childhood. No, we're not buffering. Hottest day of the summer that year. Oh, boy. Well, I was telling my son that my first baby, I went 2 weeks over my due date. And I kept threatening to jump off the kitchen table. I was like, I'm going to get this started one way or another. raisins have iron in them. And then I'm loving the little applesauce cups. Now, you know, when I was raising kids, it's like you buy it in an economical quart jar. But now that it's just me, I get to buy these cute little cups. And I save the cups, too, because they're great for painting with. Oh, honey, I'm sorry, Kathy, that tree came down. Oh, my goodness. I'm sorry about that. So I'm so glad Laura Rylander is back. And don't forget, if I have, like Laura, for people like Laura, if I've mentioned your name a couple times, and if you'd like to join our Time to Quilt chat group, which is in a Groups.io format, you can post, make your own photo album, and join in on the fun. If I've mentioned your name, send me an email at ourtimetoquilt@twc.com. And I'll send you an invitation. So I think what I'm going to do now that I had my raisins and feel peppy again is pull out some things and then making you hungry. And then let's pull out some things and maybe y'all can help me figure how I'm going to decorate this. So 112 degrees, Laura. Oh, honey, what state are you in? That's painful. That is so painful. Oh, Elvis in labor. Oh, gosh, Susan. Oh. But I don't think I could handle 112 degrees. I'm sorry. That would just be a bit much for me. You know, Mark used to, when we used to talk, when he was still in Texas and I was back in Maryland, and he would say, well, the car thermometer says 111 today. And I'm like, and you want me to move there? Why? Okay. Let me see. I just brought all kinds of stuff over. I'm gonna move this out of the way because if I know myself well, and I kind of do, that's an accident waiting to happen. All right. This is my basket of scraps, snips, little interesting things. So I've got this ribbon. I haven't figured out what to do with it yet. Oh, Michelle going. Nice to see you, Michelle, sweetheart. You have a good week too, darling. My Michelle is very special to me. What a dear, dear lady. But I have all kinds of little scraps of fabric. Here is that cork that I cut to put on the notebook. And then here's the paper that I printed. You know, I just found this design online and saved it as a photo and printed it out. So that was easy. Okay. Here's my embossing gun. I can do some embossing. And my embossing inks, glitters. I got tiles and rhinestones. Now this one, I was kind of thinking maybe to do a little beadwork on. I'm not sure what beads. Ooh, this would be pretty. These beads would go better. I put that on with the Mod Podge for fabric. Oh, yeah, I could. Oh, you know what? That cork would be great in a Hobbit house, wouldn't it? That would be really great. And now these are my fabrics that I had prepared that I'm still going to do like stamping work and all of that with. And here's another piece of paper that I printed. Oh, wow. Oh, is that where Laura? Oh, wow, hon. Was that? You know what? Alex Anderson the other day. Alex Anderson said it was going to be really hot. That a heat wave was coming through. I'm so sorry, sweetie. So here are all my Dynaflow paints. I love, especially these metallic ones. Oh my gosh, they are so cool. So let me see. I've got glitters and stamps and rhinestones. I don't know. I've got some of these bronze charms. I think they'd be pretty. I don't know. I might have run out of steam now to figure out. And, oh, these are pretty too. These are glass mosaic tiles. And you notice I had to trim my fingernails. I had a couple of them break on me. I can handle one or two breaking and keeping the whole long fingernail thing, but when the third one breaks, they have to go. I got to figure this one out. I might have to take a little more time. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't think it was going to look as good as I thought it would. But anyway, but I still got all of these buttons. Yeah, I'm not sure. Like if I put these beads on, how am I going to put them on? I think I'm telling myself that I've done a few hours of crafting today and I need to take a crafting break because I really like what I got done today and I think it's a good time to take a little break. So why don't a fairy garden? That's a great idea because I'm going to do some thinking with that and see what I come up with. But I am loving embellishing. And one of the reasons I was excited to do embellishing with this is because I want to do some quilts with embellishment. I have seen, I don't know if y'all were able to see the Mancuso quilt show this week, the virtual quilt show. They had some amazing quilts entered in their quilt show. I was inspired at the level of quality of the quilts they had entered. So that was really special. I'm going to unplug my hot glue gun and let me close some windows so we can look at your photos, okay? Oh, and my son told me, Mom, I noticed the other week when I was here that you were showing photos to your group by pointing the camera. And I said, yes. He said, oh, Mom, you need to try this system that's, I forget what he called it now. And it load down software where you can use two cameras. You can have the pictures just come right up in your computer and or on the, I forget how it worked, but there's a way it can work where you can see them better. So I told Mark, I want to add some more light in this area because it does get a little dark. And so I want some light coming down and I want to add another camera arm so I can, have a different angle. And so it's time to kind of do an upgrade. If I'm going to keep doing this, I need to kind of bring up my level of professionalism. So what I'm going to go do right now is turn off the lights and come back and let's look at your photos. I'll be right back, everybody. All righty. Let's bring this down. So hopefully soon I'll be able to show you better quality photos without having to point the camera at the computer. So cross our fingers. I hope I can do it. All right. Okay, here we go. I just, if my son wasn't in the middle of setting up a whole new business and having another child, then maybe he could, and the pandemic, maybe he could come up and teach me how to do it. But he did say, oh, I didn't get a picture from Alexis. Did she? I don't know if she sent me one, but I was hoping to have her latest photo, but she might have gotten busy. So, oops, you're seeing me reflected. Let me see. There's got to be a better way to show y'all these things. Let's try this one. See if I can get it to enlarge. But I do love seeing your work. And thank you for sharing your photos with our group or sent right to me. And that's just, she does such beautiful embroidery work. Lovely. All right, let's go back here. And Miss Bonnie. Yeah, I love showing her UFO projects, finishing her UFO. And boy, she's inspired me to get things done. Let me bring this up bigger. I love her colors in this. It looks like Stonehenge. Bonnie loves Stonehenge, and who doesn't? It's gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Way to go, Bonnie. And then look at her beautiful applique work. I just love this. Look at that tulip. And her stem is so free-flowing, it's just lovely. Her leaves are delicate, just nice. So good work, Miss Bonnie. I love these cabinets she got, restoring all her fabric. That is terrific. And I tell you what, this whole Marie Kondo, I forgot. I apologize. I'm mispronouncing it. But what a great job is by folding everything in uniform sizes. It sure makes organization easy. So very great job. Okay. Okay. Cheryl. Oh, you know what? Cheryl said I could share these photos with women of the group. I'll just be real careful. I won't share them too long just in case she'd rather not. But this is her new apartment, so I'll just do them real quick because I meant to ask her, did she mean on our group's IO or here? Nice kitchen, big fridge. And look how long this apartment is in this hall photo. It just shows you how long, and look at those big windows down there. So how nice. I'm so tickled that she settled in, and I can't wait to see her next entry in this quilt that she's working on, these quilt blocks. I just love these. So I'm sure once she gets fully moved in, she'll get back on it. But, I mean, to just move right now is a lot of work. So I want to show you what Miss Diana made me. And oh my gosh, do these things just look totally yummy or what? She said they were the best things she's ever eaten, and it looks like it for sure. Beautiful, beautiful. And look at this beautiful cutting board. Her husband makes these for her. Beautiful. They're both so talented. They're both so talented. Talk about a power couple. Goodness gracious. And this is her pizza. She makes the crust homemade. Oh my gosh. Does that make all the difference with pizza or what? So those are the cooking ones. Let's see. Then we've got pool. Yay. So here is her gorgeous, gorgeous swimming pool. Oh my gosh, I just love this pool. I love all the choices they made. They're going to have some kind of coating put on the concrete so it'll stay. I think it's going to match this travertine so it'll stay cool. I mean, it's just beautiful. Whoops. Oh, didn't mean to go past it. They got their new pool cleaner thing that moves around the pool on its own, vacuuming up. I mean, how wonderful is that? And I love the color of that pool. It just makes you want to jump right in. And at nighttime, this is what it looks like with the lights on. I love the light underneath. Oh, I did it again. I love the light under the diving board. Isn't that awesome? That is just so romantic. And her setting with the beautiful cow fields in the back and, oh, big birdhouse. It looks like a birdhouse for, oh, what are they called? Purple martins, because they eat all the nighttime bugs and mosquitoes. Look at this beautiful automatic pool cover. How about that? Isn't that great? So it looks like they have just done such a beautiful job with all the decisions for the pool. Wonderful. And thank goodness Marty was there, because when he felt like things weren't working out right, he took care of it, and they were impressed with his knowledge, to say the least. So then Miss Diana, who sews so much, has been obtaining new fabrics. And look at her little, I think this one's a honey bun. I mean, it just, oh, I love the fabrics she chooses. Her colors. She and our Nadine just are so good with color. She's been working on the quilt she made for her husband. It's a John Wayne Western quilt. Beautiful. Okay, let's see. Oh, this is, look at what she's got planned. Look at those gorgeous fabrics. Oh, that looks like it's going to be a beautiful quilt. Okay. And aren't those fabrics amazing? So she and Miss Nadine got an order in, and how exciting. And look at this. She's that quilting that she's doing. Oh, the pool one snuck in there. Look at this intricate quilting. Let me bring this up. So she decided upon her pattern, and there she goes with it. I can't imagine the number of hours she will invest in this quilt. But good for her. Mr. Marty is a wonderful man, deserves that attention. So, okay, now Miss Dora, she popped in Thursday night, and I just want you to get used to her name, Dora Seal, and because she does amazing work with fantasy quilts. They're just beautiful. I mean, her dragons are just amazing. And she belongs to a group who celebrate their Scottish heritage. And look at this castle. Isn't that amazing? I tell you what, there are so many wonderful hobbies to be invested in nowadays that really make life very special. I mean, we work hard, so we need to enjoy. We need to enjoy the fruits of our labors. And this was her favorite childhood memory quilt by Miss Jody. And I love the fact that she's peeking. I love her sense of humor. But great job, not only with the eye, but with hands. Hands are very hard to do. I forgot to show you this, I think, last time. But Miss Jody collects junk mail, which you know we all get by the ton. And she puts together a little booklet that then she can write her list in, keep coupons in, anything of interest that she wants to go back and check on. So she makes her own journal from junk mail, which I think is brilliant. Just brilliant. Okay, let's see. Miss Nadine. Oh, this I wanted to, since I showed you Diane's new purchases. Look at Miss Nadine's. I mean, is that exciting or what? And she has to wait a little longer since her things have to get all the way to Germany. But I love her enthusiasm. She looks like she's got some lemonade in her brand new Missouri Star Quilt Company tumbler. And how wonderful. But she turns her, anytime she gets some new fabric, she turns it into an event. And I love it. Okay, Patricia Fry. Now, I was going to show you, she's decided to change rooms so that her husband can have a more comfortable room. She's got this 25 cubby unit coming to store her fabrics in. Is this great or what? And when they get it, they hope to be able to figure out how to put it together, and then she can store so much in this. When I saw this, I thought, oh my gosh, I love that. So, way to go. Then her husband and daughter, so sweet they are, moved everything into her new space. That's kind of tricky now to find everything, but they were very thoughtful to do that. But got quite a few things, but her new room is plenty big, like 14 by 22. Oh, that's a nice size room. And it was sweet for her to give her husband the more comfortable space. Now he won't be too hot in the summer or too cold in the winter. So let's see. Miss Sarah Quilting for the Soul. I don't think I showed you these photos. I want to make sure to show you. But I love her gardening ones. And I don't know if this is from her mom's garden or her own garden, but I will look at anybody's garden all day long. I love gardens. But whoever this person is, they are a whiz at growing roses. Roses and banana trees. And here's her parasol lady quilt she's been working on. But look at these roses. They're beautiful. There's a banana tree. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? So thank you, Miss Sarah, Quilting for the Soul. Okay, now let's see who we're going to look at right now. Miss Susan's been busy. So I want to show you Miss Susan's. These are red work style embroidered blocks. So I guess they're printed, and then she and Bonnie are working at the same time to get these done. And I think they're for a Christmas quilt, if I'm not mistaken. Beautiful. Okay, let me go check another one. This one. Yeah, we saw Miss Bonnie did something similar to this. Very good. And look at this. Her mentor at her job celebrated her 1-year anniversary. Not bad. Flowers and chocolates. But that shows you what a special woman not only her mentor is, but our Susan, who's so talented and well thought of. And I'm so glad she loves her job. And her moon quilt, which I just love. All right. And I named it the moon quilt. She calls it circle something, but you know, I get to name it. All right. I think those are it. And you know what I was thinking about the other day? Tanya, and I've forgotten her last name, but who came here and was on the show pre-COVID January. And I was thinking about her and wondering, did she start her own channel? Or how is she doing? So she checks in sometime. I'd sure love to know how she's doing. So, all right. That was fun. And I love seeing all the work you do on your quilts. It just really is. It inspires me. It gets me excited thinking about where do I go next? I'm almost done with this. Where do I go next? So, hello, Annette. Annette, I'm so glad you're here. I did make a video of putting the binding on that quilt while I still had the quilt on the quilt frame. As soon as I get it edited, I will put it up. So be looking for it. But I wanted to let you know that Friday I went in and filmed myself putting it on. So, and normally it's not too hard to do. It's easier than taking the quilt off the frame and then trying to shove and push it through your regular domestic machine. Trying to film it and keep my hands out of the way, I have to admit, a few areas I had to kind of unstitch and do it again. But I will get that edited and get it put up on the site. Okay, anybody have anything to talk about or any, oh, that quilt you made, Susan, is beautiful. And, but anybody have any questions or anything you want to talk about? I'm trying to think of a new quilt, or maybe we'll do a UFO Sunday where we'll just talk about how can we finish up some of the quilts that have been nagging us. Some of these quilts I can't wait to have finished, but just getting motivated is hard. So maybe we'll work on that. No baby's been born yet. So there's a chance that the quilt will get up there at least by the time the baby comes home. So that's what we're hoping. But, oh, thank you. I want to finish my flamingos because they have been a lot of fun. So, yeah, I was talking to my son. She went to the doctor, and they're like, okay, this coming up week, they'll induce if she hasn't gone into labor on her own. But, yeah, because she's a tiny little thing, and she's got, her last baby was 3 weeks early, and he was 8 pounds, 3 ounces. Hello? Oh, yeah, yes, most of us have at least started on the houses. And I have, in fact, mine are right here. I have one row done. And here is my sashing material, and here are my blocks. But I still need to find Miss Cheryl's block because she sent it to me. But it's somewhere here. In fact, I don't know if y'all remember, but I started cleaning this room back in March. It's still not finished. So I was this close to having the whole room done. Now I've been so busy lately, my counter's getting stacked up again. So I need to work on that. But the first thing I'm going to do is clean the house upstairs. I'm like, ooh, this house is kind of embarrassing. So, but Mark's so good. He knows when I get busy with the quilting, and he doesn't complain at all. I'm lucky. You're still waiting on 2 blocks? Okay. Yeah, I haven't. Now, you know what? Marcia's not here because I think most people are waiting on Marcia's, and I think we have people waiting on Miss Angela Adele's blocks. So if they can get them done, then they'll be done. But what I would suggest is start putting your quilt together, and we'll just have to see if they get them done or not. But, I know they want to. And it's hard sometimes. Life gets going, and I know it's hard. So, yeah. So I know they will. And I know Miss Marcia got a new machine, so I'm excited to see if that helps her with them. Because if you have a very difficult sewing machine, it's really hard to make a block. But if we don't get them, we know that they wanted to, and there was a reason they couldn't. And so we'll see how it goes. Okay. That's the hard thing. But please understand, if you've never been in a group, you almost never have 100% participation because life gets in the way. So, you know, people people like me think we can do more than we really can. So, you didn't see my particular block or because underneath that quilt is my one row that I've done so far. Yeah, I think there are some people like Annette who've been working on wanting to know what we're doing, but most of them are kind of, you know, oh, I was holding it up. Oh, let me see. I think I've decided to use this sashing. I just love the color. And um, these have been divided into rows, but aren't sewn to the sashing quite yet. And I think it would be a lot of fun if I could maybe applique some little flower pots or little bushes or something on them. I'll have to see. No, I got Cheryl. I have everyone's block except I've misplaced Cheryl Lemon's block, and I don't think I have Adele's block yet. So, but otherwise, I think I've gotten everyone's. Cheryl, I know I have yours. So, but just if you can work on blocks, if you're one of the ones that doesn't have them all in, if you can work on them, fine, but we're not going to kick you out if you don't. I understand life gets in the way. It only took me 16 years to get my oldest daughter's wedding quilt to her. And she's the only of the three who have theirs yet. So I'm not one to throw stones because I live in a very fragile glass house. So not a problem. We know that your heart's in the right place, and hopefully it'll get there. So anyway, all right. I think I'm tired now. It was funny. I was watching the photos and I was kind of getting more and more relaxed. And it's like, I think I've got a recliner upstairs calling my name. So I didn't throw it away. I hope not. I've just put it somewhere. Oh, God. Cheryl, oh, what are you going to do with me, girlfriend? What are you going to do with me? So anyway, I've got to, this week, once I get the baby's quilt in the post office tomorrow, then I'm going to start cleaning my house upstairs. And I'm hoping to find it. I'm really hoping to find it. So, oh, thank you guys. Well, you are the best. And I'm going to try to find, y'all been so patient with me working on the journals that I'm going to try my best to find a fun little project we can work on next week. And you deserve it. You are so good to me. And it really, 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 really means a lot to share my Sundays with you. I can't imagine going through this pandemic without you. It would be awful, awful. So take good care of yourselves. We now have been home from the hearing trip over 2 weeks, so we know that we were safe when we traveled. All that work that we did to be safe worked. So take good care of yourself. Susan, I always think of you Monday night when I'm going to bed and go, oh, I forgot. And please understand, if I don't come to Jitsi, it's just because I'm a little overwhelmed, especially tomorrow. I've got that doctor's appointment to do the ultrasound for my kidneys. And, but anyway, Nikki, happy birthday again. Dora, it was great seeing you. Feel free to send any photos you can so we keep showing people and getting everybody excited about continuing to stay creative. Because let me tell you, there is no better way to beat this COVID depression than to create. It's our little way of fighting back. So take good care of yourselves. Happy birthday to Nikki. And I will see you. I'll be here Thursday night and next Sunday. And I'll finally start some new projects. Bye-bye, guys. And I will let the group know at the Groups IO as soon as Donnie makes his appearance. Take good care. Mwah. You are the best. Do something good for you this week. Bye-bye. Bye, Laura. Thanks for joining us again. Oh, Diane 57. I love that. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.